This is Ruben Lowing in Callan, Texas. This is Tuesday afternoon, late afternoon. I've been, this has been milling around my head for a couple days. Since G20 and the launch of the 30 by 30 campaign, there's a different tonality, in part, to what you're hearing on the Titan call and the Builders call and the Good News call. Okay, and it's interesting because I've been trying to go in that direction on my own. When I would do the 7 steps, and I would get, I'm asking for people to kind of critique me and my, let me practicing on them, right? Using the practice script. And I would get a lot of doom and gloom. People they shut off too much doom and gloom. So I go over the information. This is 2015. This is what was going on then. You think things have gotten any, better or worse? And they get worse. Well, we're here to help, and then I put the emphasis in that direction. Okay, and I'm watching other people do it, and I'm seeing the brevity. I like brevity. Okay, they're not. It's a lot of information for somebody who's not used to it. It's a lot of information fast, and a lot of information fast means people miss things. Okay, they want to get the gist of the Rule of 72. They want to understand how taxes affect their money. All right, they want to understand that the getting started earlier or as soon as you can, right, rather than putting it off, not procrastinating, right, and then getting to depth, right, with their training. Oh yeah, and that this is an opportunity. Okay, that's the gist of it. There's something that I heard a long time ago. You can only get negative when the horse is in the barn, and I can't say that enough. And there's some people that you can be yelling at them and looking at them frowny face and be curt and have an aggressive posture to them, and they still hang in there. They probably don't like it, but they don't let it get to them. But for most people, when you get negative, as soon as they see a crack in the door, they're gone. Hence the horse in the barn, right? The only place you can actually get negative in today's society would be the U.S. military, and if you were in prison, and even then, not really. Okay. The best thing to do, really, is letting people really know that you're sincere. That's key. People can pick up on a faker in a minute. El pordiosero is what they call it here in the valley, right? It means beggar, but they're meaning it like a street vendor, right? But they apply it to like a suck up, right? Somebody who's being nice just because they want something from you. All right, and then they'll never trust you again. So you got to be sincere. You got to really mean what you're saying. And they pick up on that, and they know that when you're committed. And so you're like, you know what? And some people, they're messing around. I got some people right now I got to deal with that are messing around. And I got to say, you know what? I like you, we're friends. I care about you, man. But I can't be held back anymore. Okay, I gotta get to this, right? There's a lot of people that need help, And if you're not going to help me help them, you're just getting in the way. And I know that sounds harsh, and I don't want to sound harsh, but that's just a fact. Okay, you should be out there wanting to help as many people as you can, despite them. Think of it as practice, right? It's a lot better practice than boxing, right? Usually practice in boxing means I'm getting punched in the face, and I didn't like it until later when I learned how not to get punched in the face. But in this case, you're not getting punched in the face. If you're doing it right. All right. But we need more people. And in doing it this way with the Zoom, and you can do you can do your own meetings. You can do your own 7-step, okay? You could do your own workshops if you do them, if you get to know them, watching the ones that are scheduled and getting them down pat. You could do your own workshops, so this is how we're going to make 30 by 30 million in 30 years. And I think we'll do it faster if people get off the X and start taking action. This is the thing. And then, the whole problem with so many people they get recruited, they get a code number, and then they don't do anything. It's because the right expectations weren't laid out to them. They weren't, they I guess they thought they get a code number now. Where's the money? Well, you gotta get a license. You gotta start talking to people. You gotta start marketing to people. You gotta start figuring out, who needs this, and not be afraid to offer the help. And that's got to be said clear enough that they understand what's expected. When people understand what is expected, when they'll do it. That was the whole thing in the SEAL teams. You knew when you were in the SEAL teams, there was no ambiguity. You knew in no uncertain terms what was expected and what the consequences were for not doing it. And those are dire. You could, this is war. Bullets are flying. People die. So they took it a little more serious. But it's getting to that point. There's the way things are going. They're pushing for businesses to shut down, and the government keeps paying for that. Paying the unemployment, and then what happens then? Taxes are going to go up. Okay, and we'll be, it's like slavery. All right. I hope I get my point across. Right. We have something powerful in our hands. These calls, if you're not on these calls, you're missing it. The Titan call and the Builders call and the Good News call. There's a reality that's totally different than what else is out there with all the riots and the masks and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you're not hearing that here. You're hearing something totally different. You're hearing people, with a vision moving forward. All right, bye.